Here we have a mirror that came in for repair. Customer mailed over a mirror. Dashcam mirror. Looks something like this. I do not know how much this mirror or camera is worth. I do not know what the model number is. Customer is paying for expedited service, which is $49 more, so we can do it quick for him. He's paying for shipping. He's paying for return shipping. He's paying for us to fix it. Is it worth it? I do not know. We're gonna do the job as we are told to do, and we'll see. Customer mailed over 2 batteries, battery expanded, and he mailed over a replacement battery, but the problem is the battery is not the same size. It's a different size, and the cable is a lot shorter. So that's one of the things that we will be doing in this repair. The main thing that we're gonna be doing, if I did not lose the port, customer mailed over this port. It's a charging port, and he wants it replaced on the board. Now I noticed the customer did work on this board before he mailed it over. Look at what the customer did. He tried to replace the connector, and that's what happened. He burned half the board in the process. Let's see if we can replace the connector for him, and then we're gonna find a way to replace the battery. The battery itself, the width on the battery itself is a lot bigger. Look at the difference between the old one and the new one. Look at the difference. How will that fit inside? If there's room to fit, then we can extend the cables. We can solder the long cables onto the battery and extend it. But if the battery itself won't fit inside the housing of that mirror, then I do not know how we're gonna be able to use this battery. Let's go ahead and replace the charging connector. That's the first time we get in a camera like that, the mirror camera. The device must be expensive. That's why the customer may be paying for expedited, plus service, plus shipping, and all that stuff. Who knows? We're gonna do what we are told to do. Maybe this camera has a sentimental value and he wants it fixed. No idea. Do not argue with the customer. Like we had this customer who came in today with a MacBook, 2017 MacBook Pro, and he said my USB-C connectors are loose. If I try to plug the cable is loose. I told him the cable is loose, but is the cable charging the device, powering on the device? He said, yeah. Laptop is 100% working, 100% working. You know, but it just bothers me that the cable is loose. I told him logically it doesn't make sense. If the cable is charging the device, why do you want to fix the loose port? If it's charging, it's working, why do you want to replace it? He said, yeah, I just want to do it. I told him, okay. So I went inside, I got the amp meter, I came back outside, I tried it, and guess what? The laptop was not charging. Customer was lying to me. He said, everything is perfect. I told him, laptop is not charging. You said the laptop was working, 100% charging. And he said, you know, he stumbled. And then he said, no, charging is not working. I told him, why did you tell me charging was working? He wanted to give me the laptop, and then when I tell the customer charging is not working, then he's gonna blame it on you. I did not want to take the laptop in. I gave the customer a high price and got rid of him. If customers are honest, life would be a lot better. Why is he lying to me? 100% perfect, 100%, but he's bothered by the loose connectors. Something isn't right. It's not logical that you want to fix it if the laptop is charging and the laptop is powering on. It's just not logical. Even if I took the laptop in and it turns out that the laptop is not taking a charge, too bad. We call the customer, we tell him it's not taking a charge. He can blame all he wants. In our terms, we state there are risks. Even if we happen to inflict a no charge on the laptop, it's part of the risk. Anytime you are dealing with microscopic components, working on motherboards, there's a risk. And customers must sign the risks. The risks do not involve dropping and breaking the laptop. No, we are responsible for that. But if we are working on a heat-sensitive area and something happens, it's part of the risk. So that would not have been a problem anyway. But the customer was lying. He said it's working 100%, but he's bothered by the loose ports. Go tell that to somebody else. I'm gonna put this in a board holder because the board is gonna wobble all over the place if I do not do so. Now we have a customer. Of course, I'm working. I'm recording a video. What's new? Just a minute. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
I brought you some goodies.
I don't have anybody on the front desk because I used to have somebody on the front desk. Every time a customer comes in and they ask a technical question, I end up being the one who's talking to the customer or answering that person who's handling the customers. What's the use of having somebody out there if I'm gonna have to answer anyway? Okay, so I need to figure out where that pad broke from. Now it's much clearer. Look at how much I zoomed in with this microscope. Everything is so fine in details. People up till now, they ask me, your microscope has great details. Which one is it? Just log into our site. Don't ask too many questions. Just log into our site, add to cart and buy it. That's it. We do not sell anything that we do not use in the shop here. Like we have a suction clamp. You know, if you want to remove the glass for an iMac, how you put that suction clamp, you close it and then you pull on the glass. We want to carry those suction cups. So we ordered several cups, different makers. And all of the ones that we ordered, they hold, but they don't hold too tight. The cup will break loose. We cannot sell something like this. So I had to try a couple of them until I found one that is super strong. The best suction cup you will ever get your hands on. But that's after we tried 3-4 of them. I do not just get one, oh, it's holding, all right, let's sell it. No, I do not do that. If that cup is not perfect, we do not sell it. We do not carry it. So when you buy something from our e-commerce site, you can be 100% sure that we tried it. I personally tried it and I use it, and that's why we sell it. All the tweezers, the Flux, the microscope, everything. Right now, I got this soldering pen as a demo, so I can try it out. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm still doing more testing. Once I'm satisfied that it does everything I want, then we can carry it. I do not want easy money, to sell and make easy money. I want to put the effort in showing you how it works, in recommending that this is a good device, spending the time to know that it's a good device. End of the day, when we order, we have to pay for tax, we have to pay for customs, we have to pay for shipping, we have to pay credit card fees when you order, we have to pay the person who's packaging, we have to pay the overhead. There are a lot of expenses involved when carrying a product in the shop. People do not know this. Sometimes they may find it for $5 less on AliExpress. How come it's $5 less? What are you talking about? We have 6 million different types of expenses that we need to add in order to make it happen. Otherwise, we would lose money. But everything is priced super right. Everything is priced right on the website. Even if it's more money, when you add all the expenses that we have to add, then you will know that everything that we have on the site is an excellent deal. I'm going to use the grinding pen. And right now, we do carry replacement tips for that pen. They're already posted on our site. Many customers were asking if they can buy replacement tips. We do have them. We have the 0.6 size, the 0.8, and the 2.5. I'm honestly still using the same bit. Those traces are extremely fine, and it doesn't take much to grind through them. But we do sell the replacement bits right now, and the bit is, I believe, $2.49, $2.50. So we have $2.49 instead of $2.50. People like to see $2.49 rather than $2.50. That's how people are. It's a crazy world, but you have to go with the flow. If you are buying a vehicle for $19,999, you find it a lot cheaper than $20,000. Why? I don't know. It's only $1 difference. But that's how people are brainwashed. 99-cent store. Why couldn't you say $1 store? I mean, this is gone. We have to replace this pad as well. That's what I think. Look at this. Do not take shortcuts. Let's just get rid of it. We're gonna have to grind some more. And that's what we have to do. Look at just how precise that grinding pen is. Okay, let's add some flux. and I'm using the super fine needle probes. Beautiful. When you have the right tools, the job becomes a lot easier. Let's do the other one. Look at that needle probe. Look at the way it's holding down that pad strip, that microscopic pad strip, like a champ. Look at this. All right, awesome. Very nice. We have several thermal camera makers that are in contact with us to carry their products. I told them to send a sample. We'll try it. If we like it, we'll carry it. The UNI-T has been a very popular item in our shop, and every time we get a batch, it goes out within a week. Very popular item. Then we're gonna be using our 10-watt UV lamp right there. 10-watt UV lamp. Let's wait. It will shut up by itself, maybe 20 seconds. I don't want to look at it. It's a cup. It's like a cup, so it doesn't spill UV. It doesn't hurt your eyes. You don't look at it, but still, it's already off. See? And just apply a little bit of heat to get rid of that shiny coat that's left. And look at that. Beautiful. The customer mailed over a mini USB connector. And this connector looks SMT. It's not through hole. I do not know why he got this connector, but that's what he mailed over. We're gonna solder it anyway. It's not through hole, but it should work. And I'm gonna pre-apply solder onto this nice tip here. Remember when I2C sent me that soldering station? From day one, solder would not stick on their tips. From day one. Beautiful. What makes a good shiny joint? Good flux, good solder, and enough heat. We need flux. I did not add a flux in the front here, and that's what happens when you do not add flux. Solder is not going to flow properly, and you're going to get bridges. Solid, solid with the pad. Okay, the pad is going to move slightly, but it's soldered onto the pad. That's what we want. Beautiful, the job is done. It may not be the same connector, but that's what the customer mailed over. It works. Whether it's through hole or not, it works. Now, as long as the connector itself is not reversed, then it should be good. Some micro or mini USB connectors are reversed. So plus is on the right, minus is on the left, or it could be vice versa. Job is done. Now comes the battery part. Where does the battery solder onto? Let's take a look on the board. We have the speaker here, and look at that, we have the battery here. So how is the battery going to extend all the way from the right to the left? How is that possible? That's the battery, the bad one, and the battery looks like it should go here. and you have cables that extend all the way and solder onto the side of the board. They extend from here to here. The other battery, the cables are short. They're not gonna reach. If we put the battery here, and the battery is thick, so I do not know how that will work out. The battery is a lot thicker and a lot bigger. A lot thicker and a lot bigger, maybe twice as thick. So, I don't know. If I put the battery inside, look at the battery, it's too thick. The mirror is not gonna close because the battery is too thick. We cannot use that battery. What if I put the battery here? Still the same. The battery is too thick. It's gonna stay open. We're gonna have to let the customer know. We just fixed his charging connector, but the battery is not gonna work out. It's too thick and too big. Right, so we just finished reassembling the mirror right here. We did not install the battery or solder the new battery because it does not fit inside. But I just want to try it and see if we get anything on the screen when we plug the charging cable. Maybe this can be used without the battery. I'm assuming it can be used without the battery. And what we had to do also, because the customer mailed over the wrong size port, that port would not fit inside the hole. We grinded that plastic using the grinding pen, and the port fits perfectly now. Let's plug the charging cable. Right there. Haha, right there. Wow. Wow. That looks amazing. Okay, right there. The camera is, where's the camera? Right there. So the camera is operational without the battery. If the customer wants the battery, then he needs to locate the same battery. He can either solder it himself, or I don't know what you want to do. We're gonna have to let him know. All right, that's it. The job is done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. And any tools that we use here, whether it's Flux, tweezers, whatever, you can find it on our site. Just click on shop and you can browse through all the tools that we have for sale on our shop. And if you have any other question not relating to this repair, you can leave it on our forum. Just log into NorthridgeFix.com, click on forum. You can ask your questions there and I'll try to answer you whenever I have time. And we have a lot of smart people on the forum that may be able to answer your questions and help you out as well. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video.